Hey everyone, welcome to a new video, welcome to my channel. My name is Maaike, welcome to Floating in Dreams. This is my hobby YouTube channel, and on this channel we chat about fashion and makeup related topics, and I especially like to do like eyeshadow palette related content, but I also do a lot of Essence and Catrice reviews. I really like getting the use out of my products, and that's why every single month I like to come on here and do a Shop My Stash where I give you mini reviews of the products I was using in the month previously, and then we also go into my makeup drawers and we select some makeup for the new month. So if that's something you're excited for, then please stay tuned because that's exactly what we will be doing today. So yeah, welcome to my Shop My Stash for the month of November. This is what I had selected for the month of October. So we're briefly going to through everything that was in here, including some of the lipsticks I was using and the eyeshadow palettes that I have managed to try this month. So you're going to get a full lowdown, and then we're going to go into the drawer and select some new things to try for November, and I'm super excited. So there's a lot of things that actually changed as the month was going on because I did use up a product. I used up the Clean ID setting spray, the Glow Prime and Fix from Catrice, and I already replaced it with the hyaluronic fixing spray, also from their Clean ID line. You do get a lot less product in this bottle because it's like half the size, and I think. Yeah, I think this is 50 mils and this is 100. But yeah, this is another used up product, which is great. And then over on this side, which you can't see, are some other products I used up, which is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer in C3. This is all the way gone. You can't really tell because a lot of the usage is behind the sticker, but that's gone. And dun, 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 I finally did it, you guys. That's it. My MAC Paint Pot in Painterly. I can't for the life of me get anything out of it anymore. I can still sort of stick my finger in, but a lot of the residue is so dry that it kind of like crumbles. So it's not something I can use anymore. So I got myself a fresh one. So that's been super excited. And then a product I selected for October but that I decided to stop using really quickly was the Rival Loves Me Tropical Bronzer in the shade Waikiki 01. This is a German drugstore brand that a subscriber actually bought for me. And it's a lovely, lovely product. The bronzer itself is really stunning, especially for how cheap this is. I think it's like €2.50. But like I'm sitting a little bit further away from this, and the scent, the fragrance in this product, it's like, it's so incredibly strong. And it's very perfumey, and it gave me a headache. So I had to stop using this. Not because the product wasn't great, but because it was just so overly scented. This is like a Too Faced product, but then times 50. That's how strong this smells. I really did not like it for that reason. So I did select another bronzer, which you can see lying right there, to be using in the month of October. So I only used it for about a week. That's definitely one for the declutter pile. Then I just put in a new Max Fix Plus. I put this one in case my primer ran out, which it didn't do just yet. I've got my lip balm, and then I have this eyeshadow, which is Vanilla from MAC, which I need to scrape down constantly to get it to even work. So I think that's going to be one I can use up quickly because of the scraping. And then the eyeshadow primer from Milano is still going strong. My mascaras are still going strong. The Lash Changer and the Glam and Dull, both waterproof, both from Catrice. These are lovely. And also my brow products are still going really, really well. I like this pencil from Revolution, actually. Is it my favorite? Is it replacing the Soap and Glory? I don't think so, but it has a very similar look and feel when I use it. So this is a good, really good pencil, I have to say. Of course, Essence Make Me Brow has been one I've been raving about. And I have been mentioning how much I like the Lash Changer. This mascara was released by Catrice for the fall season. And this is a really, really good volumizing mascara at the drugstore. So for me, it's up to par with something like L'Oreal's Lash Paradise, Maybelline Falsies, what's it called? Not the Push-Up. Falsies Flared, I think it was called, the last one they came out with. This is very similar to that, and this is like €4. So this is one of my new favorite drugstore mascaras. And then we've got this family going on over here, which is all of my base products and cheek products. And as you can see, I had selected quite a few foundations. So let's start there. The foundation I want to use up before the end of the year is the Ordinary Serum foundation in shade 1.1N. I've only been able to use it a couple of times, and this is a very thin, watery foundation. And I know I can make this work. Before the end of December, I will be able to use it up. As you can see, it's about halfway gone already. It's just that this bottle is a little bit broken. Like, you need to twist it and then it locks into place. And I can no longer find where the point is where it unlocks. So whenever I twist it. So the packaging isn't the best on this. It's a bit cheap, but it's a really lovely foundation. And then these two I put in to try because these are newer releases from Essence and Catrice. The True Skin wasn't entirely new to Catrice or to me because I had already tried it, but I didn't love the shade I got. So I tried it in a darker shade, and now I really like it. So now I see what the hype is all about. And the Essence Fresh and Fit was an okay foundation. It's just not the best for me, what I want in a foundation. But it is a good one from Essence, but I like their Pretty Natural a lot better. The foundation that I tried then for real for the first time is the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder, and this has kicked its way into my top 5 all-time favorite foundations. That's how much I like this. I actually didn't want to stop using it. I had to force myself to reach for my Ordinary foundation once I had tried this enough to make up my mind. That's how much I love it. This is one where I know I'm gonna want to go back to it to use it up because it's such a great product. Really good lightweight coverage, very natural on the skin, really lovely, not dry or cakey at all, but I do think it's better if you have like dry skin. For concealer, I was using this one from Kiko. It's not quite gone yet, but it is going down really, really quickly. It only comes with 3 milliliters of product, I believe. So this is one I think I can use up in November. This is their Skin Tone Concealer in shade 02. This is a lovely, more hydrating, sort of medium coverage concealer for me. It's not super lightweight, but it still has a bit of a dewy shine to it. So this is going to stay in. Oh, and the Ordinary one is going to stay as well because that I want to use up. And then the Anti-Redness Serum Primer from Catrice from the Clean ID line. Not sure if you can see, but I've got about like 3 uses left in this. So this primer though was really lovely. I really like it. It's a really good one. It does have a bit of a weird texture that isn't the best in combination with the dropper style packaging. So this is just, and if you pour it out, it's too thin and you get too much. So it's kind of difficult to use sometimes, but I found a way, which is to actually take out the dropper, squeeze out all the air, then stick the dropper back into the product and then let it go. And then you get the suction you need to get the product into the dropper. And that works every single time. So that's a little trick if you've been using this and you don't know how to use it. That's the way to go. So I'm going to use that up. And I actually need to put it on top of my vanity, else I can't get to the product. For bronzer, I decided to go in with the Christian Dior Forever Natural Bronzer in the shade 04 Tan Bronze to replace the Revolve Loop one. And this was really, really lovely. I really like this. It was just exactly what I wanted from a bronzer. Good shade, nice cooler undertone. Yes, it looks a bit dark in the pan, but it sheers out beautifully. I actually want to try a highlighter in this packaging that they came out with a little later. For a highlighter, I really only selected one true highlighter, which was the Hourglass Ambient Strobe Lighting Powder in the shade Iridescent Strobe Light. This is a great, more subtle highlighter, and I hadn't used this in a while, and I went back to it as like, oh, that's why I like you. This has a bit of like a pinky peach undertone. This was one of the first like peachy toned highlighters I ever tried, and this is what made me realize why I like that so much. But it's time to select something else. Then we have the All Matte Shine Control Powder Healthy Look from Catrice that I have been trying, and this is a good powder. I like it. It's not too matte, and for it still sets your makeup, but it doesn't look really cakey or creasy or weird, and it's pretty hard pressed. So this is actually a really nice powder. It does have some kick up when you stick your brush in, but it's not as, like with some face powders I hit pan within a month of using it. That's not the case with this one. For blush, Hourglass's Mood Exposure. I definitely use this a lot at the start of the month when I wanted to go for something very basic, very glowy. But I have been using a lot of the new in blushes that I tried, that I still had to try. So I didn't get a chance to use my blushes all that much this month. But I did use them a fair amount of time. And then I used this sparkly number, the Love Cheek Duo from Natasha Denona. This is so pretty. I really like this guy. However, the cream isn't covered and there's a powder right next to it. The highlighter doesn't show up very well on me. Let me see if I can swatch it for you. Like, it's got a really pretty shade. But on me, it kind of just disappears. Well, it looks a little better now. But especially when I put this on with a brush, I feel like the brush doesn't really pick it up very well. But I have heard that this is better if you pick it up with a natural hair brush, so maybe I should try that. And then the cream blush is a lovely, lovely, really bright, vibrant shade. I do really like that. And then finally for cheeks, we have the Cover FX Blush Duo in Mojave Mauve. This was stunning. This is the kind of mauve blush that I just can't get enough of. I'm not gonna lie. This is the kind of blush I just want to use all the time. So that's why this was very successful and I really love it. So to give you an impression of the lip products that I used, this would roughly be it. I didn't manage to keep track of it very well, you guys, but I tend to just reach for like a handful of things nowadays, it seems. So what I have been reaching for the most actually are these like mauvey, nudie kind of shades. I've got a type. This Rare Beauty, it's called a balm, I believe, but it's like a liquid lacquer lip gloss kind of thing. The shade is called Nearly Mauve and it's really pretty on. Fussy Gloss Bomb from Fenty, really lovely. I do wear it by itself though, not over other things. But the Gloss Bomb Cream in Mauve Wives is my favorite, so I use this quite a bit again this month. And then I also used Very Victoria from Charlotte Tilbury. This is one of my favorite nudes. And I have been sort of, now that we're going into fall, I have been wearing more matte lipsticks as well. And so one of the lipsticks I've been using a lot is Velvet Muse from Lisa Eldridge. This is one of my favorite nudes as well. It's a bit deeper, but really lovely. And I was using Kitten Mischief a lot as well for like a good nude. And finally, for the month of October, these are all the eyeshadows that I used in this month. I didn't do my makeup as often as I could have, perhaps, but especially on the weekends, I just wasn't feeling it. But yeah, these are all the things that I did use. I did a look with the Cherry Crush from ColourPop. This was a really lovely look. I did like the end result, but I'm not feeling this palette. Again, with a lot of these monochromatic palettes from ColourPop, and I feel that this is suffering from the same thing, there's just not enough variation to really create enough depth and dimension for my liking. There's a couple of shades in here that I love that I would like to keep around, but I'm definitely not going to be keeping the entire palette, I'm sure. We have the Fenty Beauty Cool, is this the, no, this is the smoky one. This is one that I still have to use separately. It's really lovely. It is sultry though, but it's a lovely, lovely shade. And of course, whenever I feel like not doing much makeup at all, I always reach for ColourPop's Super Shock in Ritz. There's a reason why I've hit pan on that thing. And then I was trying out some palettes that I bought over the summertime. So one of them was the Kimchi Chic Virgin Mojito eyeshadow palette. And this was really pretty. I liked it quite a bit, a lot more than I thought, because I have not heard anybody talking about this brand in terms of eyeshadows, but I thought it looked cute. I thought the greens with the yellows were a nice touch. I just felt that the mattes in here were just they're not the best. So you do get sort of what you pay for because this brand is quite affordable, but you can build it up. And then the looks I created with this, they were actually quite pretty. I just don't think this is my favorite like yellow and green palette, but it was nice. It's really good. Like, this is a great green tone palette if you like very bright greens. And similarly, the LA Girl Main Stage palette. This is the second of these larger LA Girl palettes that I've tried. And the quality of these shadows for how much you pay is quite amazing. This is really incredibly good value for money, but my packaging kind of broke. So I need to be very careful when I open it because the insert pops out. And then I have a problem with some of the shimmers not really staying together, like these shimmers kind of crumbly, they're quite crumbly and all that. And when I was using this, I really felt that apart from the black, you just don't really get anything that's nice and rich, because these shimmers all look quite vibrant on the eyes, which is a bit of a shame. Another disappointment, sadly, the Beaute Bean and Shroud Cosmetics, It's Freaking Bats. I believe Beaute Bean has renamed herself to Betty Bean, I believe. This is a palette that, of course, we all waited for months until we got it. I bought it the day it released, and I didn't get it until April. This is pretty. It's very pretty. I just don't feel that some of the shades go together. You might think, hey, this is a lime green, and that's like a yellow, but this is a mustard, and it's got a lot of warmth. And this is a bit more cool tone, so I didn't feel that these two necessarily went together. I'm missing sort of like something in between these two shades to work as a transition on me. So I love the shimmers in here. I like the quality of these shadows. I just felt that color story wise, none of the shades didn't necessarily combine the way I wanted them to. Then I have been trying out a new to me brand, which is SheGlam. And SheGlam is the makeup brand that is run by Shein, which is the Chinese fashion retailer. They're very fast fashion and also very fast makeup, because their makeup is super affordable, and I bought a couple of their palettes to try them. I haven't tried the other ones yet. I have 4 more, and that you will see all of that coming up in a 10 palette review video, which I will be doing hopefully in the first 2 weeks of November. But I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 palettes to try before I can do that video. So bear with me as I'm trying more eyeshadow so I can get that video up. But yeah, this is the Splash Bash palette. And I wanted to own this because I like the juxtaposition of the pinks with the greens. I just thought that was really, really pretty. And it is a pretty palette, but here as well, like with the Kimchi Chic, you can tell these are cheap shadows. Like the way they combine, they're quite sheer at first, they can be built up. The shimmers are a bit lackluster. I did really like the look that came out of this, and I think that of the ones that I bought, because this has a more unique color story, I may be inclined to keep 1 or 2 of those around. But if the quality is consistent with every single palette that I have from them, which of course I cannot say anything about yet because I haven't tried them yet, but if that's the same quality in every palette, then I know I can just make do with keeping 1 or 2 around. Shall we talk about a brand that blew me away? And that would be Glam Shop. I bought 3 palettes by them, and these were so great. Whenever I wore these, I got people asking me like, your eyeshadow is looking amazing. I was like, thanks. Yeah, so these are, if you want to try some EU indie makeup that is not too expensive, I believe these retail for around 19 euros each, so roughly 20. They're really good. This, I believe, is Polish for green, so W Zielone, I'm not sure. I don't speak Polish, so apologies if you do. Correct me in the comments and let me know how to pronounce this, because I'd love to know. This was a stunning green palette. I loved it. These shimmers are buttery, so intense. The mattes are lovely. Yes, they're powdery and they do flake everywhere. So these eyeshadows are not beginner friendly, but man, the color story is lovely. And I felt the same way about Coco Sanka. This is, I believe, Coconut Biscuit, if Google Translate is correct. And this is a neutral palette, which some lovely shimmers again. It did pull quite dark. So some of these shades pulled darker on my very fair skin than I had expected just looking at it in the pan. So it got quite smoky. This, I believe, is Polish for blue. And this, when I wore this, a lot of people were like, are you gonna go out or what's going on? Stunning blue palette. Really lovely. I wish this is what ColourPop's Blue Moon would have been like. And finally, the 2 out of 3 Sydney Grace palettes that I did try. My favorite, or at least the one that I hope is going to be my favorite, I've tried to save that one for last. So these are the On the Horizon and the Radiant Reflection. This is the Radiant Reflection. And I found out that this is just a really good jewel toned eyeshadow palette. I do have to say that I have tried other Sydney Gray shadows in the past, mainly their singles, and I don't feel this is the same formula. I feel these are a bit harder pressed, especially the mattes. They are still really lovely, but Sydney Gray's has just a really good, more buildable formula to begin with. These were lovely. And then this is the On the Horizon, which, especially the look I did with these shades, that was lovely. And this look as well. This is more like, it's jewel tones, but then with like an earthy vibe to it. It's got this like murky, muddy undertone. So this is very much up my street because it's colorful, but it's very neutral leaning, if that makes sense. Okay, so welcome to the top drawer of my makeup collection, which holds all of my face products, which is the area I always switch up the most. I think we need to go for new bronzers, new highlighters, a new foundation or two to try, maybe a backup concealer just in case the Kiko runs out, new blush. We've got a lot to chat about. I have yet to try these two foundations. So these are the ones I'm going to try this month. The Nabla Skin Realist Skin Tint in the shade 1 Fair and Luminous Silk from Giorgio Armani in shade 3. I only put this on my face once and I was very, very happy with it. So we'll see how it goes, but these seem to be lovely products, both of them. So can't wait to try them more and really write an in-depth review about them. I think I can go in with this concealer. This is the Essence Stay Natural Concealer. It's one of those like clicky pens. Again, something that's quite easy to use up. And I just want to make sure I use up another couple of products before the end of the year. So this is one that's I'm gonna try and use up for sure. Powder I don't need to select because I'm still using the Catrice one. I do need to make sure I use a good highlighter. I wanted to make sure I got some more use out of some of my MAC highlighters. This is Double Gleam. So that I'm going to select for sure. Yeah, I'm just going to go in with the OG. Becca Prismatic Amethyst. This is an oldie but a goodie. I've got a really nice dent in the middle. I need to review this product. This is the Kiko, what's this called? Flawless Fusion Bronzing Powder. This is stunning. Need to review that. So that's going to be the bronzer of choice for the month. I actually saw Erica talk about this. Erica is always leaving lovely comments on my videos. She has a YouTube channel as well. And she did her blush collection and she reminded me to go back to the Ciate blush in Matchmaker. This is such a good shade for the fall time. It's this like plummy mauve-y shade again. I love that. So that's an old favorite to go back to. And maybe I should pull in my Bare Minerals bronzer in Kiss of Pink because I've heard that this was discontinued. So maybe I can review it before, you know, while you can still buy this. So that's a good one, I guess. And then I've got something plummy, something pinky. Do I want something else? OG. Tarte Seduce for the neutral moments. Then we've got something pinky, we've got something plummy, and we've got something neutral. So I think, is that it? I think we're there. Let's put everything in the drawer. So this is what the drawer is currently looking like for the month of November. My little extra light just cut out because it's battery powered, and sadly it decided to stop working as I was about to film this final section of the video. So apologies for the lighting change, but I think I've got a pretty good curated selection going on here. Some new foundations to try, some old favorites to go back to, as well as some new cheek products to try. I've got a couple of other eyeshadow palettes that I'm going to be trying out in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned because I will be doing a new 10 palette review video in November for sure. And I've got lots of other content already planned out and ready to go so that we can have a lot more fun over on this channel. So I hope you would like to stay tuned for all of that goodness. I make 3 new videos a week, so if you haven't subscribed yet, it would very much help me out if you could do that. What would also help me out is if you could thumbs up this video. I hope you enjoyed watching today, and then I hope you have a great day today. Have a good one. Take care, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye-bye!